Well, good evening, Gooners. Welcome to another preview. It's Arsenal versus Fulham. Massive game in the title running. It just got me this evening. Wayne couldn't make it, unfortunately. But look, get involved in the comments. There is a lot to get into. How are we feeling after the Champions League game? Tight draw, but we'll take it. There's been a lot of controversy over the penalty not given to us. I don't know what your thoughts on it, guys, but on the day, I thought the referee bottled it a little bit, but I don't think we can dwell on it. I think that it's a difficult game. We got out of there with a draw. We take them back to the Emirates and game on Tuesday, guys. But come and join us for that. But look, it's all about the weekend. Eyes on the Fulham match at the Emirates tomorrow at 5:30. The beauty of this game is we can put serious pressure on Manchester City. Go and do it. Go and put pressure on them. Go and win the game. Go and win the game, and then go and mate. I want them to go to Everton, right, with 6 points behind. They've got games in hand. Put the pressure on them. Put it all in their court. We want them to go to the Everton game, and they've got to do nothing but win, right? And Everton are fighting for Europe just as well as Fulham, by the way. It's really tight in there. So Fulham ain't going to be an easy game tomorrow, but get through it. And then we can sit there 6 points and it's over to Man City on Monday. And by the way, that won't be an easy game for Man City. So that's all we can do. And I think if we go 6 points tomorrow, City, I don't think City are the City of old. Yes, they've been playing well, but that's a lot of pressure. They've got no wriggle room anywhere. Yes, they've got a game in hand, but if they drop points to Everton and we're 6 points, it's back in our hands. So look, we've got an opportunity tomorrow. We don't normally. I think this season the only opportunity we've ever taken is the Brighton away in these situations. But go and take it tomorrow. Go and take it. It's not going to be an easy game. Sheree, good evening, buddy. No offense, Atletico are horseshit. We should be dusting them down on Tuesday alongside Fulham. Yeah, look, I've read out a really cool stat that I see earlier today, guys, and I couldn't believe it. I had to double check it. Double check it if you because listen to this. Arsenal have never lost a home game to Fulham in league history. I know. We've played 32 home games. We've won 25 and drawn 7. How about that first stat? That is nuts. Let's hope I've not jinxed it. Let's touch wood. I haven't. But look, that goes to show that we're very dominant at home against Fulham. So look, I know tomorrow's not going to be an easy game. Fulham are going to roll over for us. They've got their own stuff to play for. But I think that if we come out and play our football, then we should be beating them quite comfortably. But if you offered me 1-0 now, bite your hand off. If it meant going 6 points clear. So let's go and do the business. I'm at the game tomorrow, so it's going to be interesting to see the atmosphere because I've not been to a game in a couple of months. But yeah, let me know if you're going to the game, guys. Shree, I don't know if you're going to the game. You tend to get a lot of tickets, buddy. But yeah, I'll get into the starting 11 very shortly. Wayne's kindly sent me his predicted 11. One thing that I did notice on Tuesday, and I thought it really worked for us, was we ditched the number 10. And what I mean by that was we played a 4-3-3, but that flat 3. We didn't go with Odegaard in the 10. And I thought it worked a bit better. It was a bit more, we interchanged more. And Rice done something that he hasn't done all season. He sat in the 6 and let Zubimendi just roam around. He wasn't roaming around as much. And I thought that that's how we dominated their midfield. So I think more of the same. There's been some some team news, and Arteta's very sketchy about Odegaard. So that I'll read out. I've got the press conference open here, guys, as well, so we can have a quick look at it. But on Odegaard, Timber and Havertz, yes, Kai and Jurien will be out. That's really annoyed me about Jurien Timber, because he said in the press conference for Atletico that Jurien was fit, but he just didn't make the squad for the Champions League. He didn't travel. So that's really confusing. What the hell is going on with Jurien Timber? I thought he was coming back. Is he out for the remainder of the season? I think it would be good to be a little bit more transparent. I know, look, you don't want to give the opposition any advantage, but if he's out, he's out. But give us an inkling, give us an idea if he could return, because we need him. But I think Ben White and I look, me and Wayne are very open about, look, let's not slag players off on this channel, but it doesn't mean we can't criticize. But I honestly think Ben White's time is done at this club. We'll get into the starting 11 very shortly. I don't think he starts at right back. I think Mascara's got to sit in there. But evening, Cat Doku, mate. Thank you for joining again, buddy. No, 10 is the worst position this season. Playing a flat 4-3 is a boom to us. Yeah, I think we had a bit more control of the game, and because there was no fixed number 10. I take your point, buddy. Because there was no fixed number 10. I thought that we was a bit more freedom in that midfield, and I think that's how we dominated. Because Odegaard, like, he went, yeah, come on. It was moments where Rice and Odegaard were sitting. Zubimendi was the highest player forward. It really worked for us. The only problem is, if Odegaard is injured, I don't see Eze doing that role. He can do it, by the way. He can drop in and get the ball, and I think he should tomorrow. I think he should be playing that flat free, but give Eze the roam where he can drop in, he can go. I think Zubi not playing in that position, I think helped us out a lot. Him not doing the holding 6 role. I think Rice is a better number 6. I think he's one of the best in the world. I think just go back to that for these next couple of games, because we're solid. It means that we can attack with a bit of freedom. My worry is our open play attacking isn't great. We've been doing pretty well away to City. We've done really well with it. At home to Newcastle, it was a bit lackluster. In the Champions League, yeah, we created chances, but we don't shoot enough. So tomorrow's going to be really intriguing for me to see, because Marco Silva does set up quite tight. Fulham are very, very organised. So I'll be interested to see how Arteta sets up. The only thing with Arteta, and this is what frustrates me with him, he's very predictable. He doesn't make a change. Like, why? York's struggling, let's be honest. He's struggling. He's got a great penalty, and he worked his socks off against Atletico. And he will start tomorrow, by the way. But I'm going to die on this hill, right? And I'm probably going to annoy you by keep saying it. Martinelli is not a winger. He's a centre forward. He's a centre forward now. He's not a winger. Just play him up front. But let's not bother with Jesus anymore. I think I would start Trossard tomorrow on the left, although he's been awful as well, by the way. And I'd bring Martinelli on for York 60 minutes if nothing's happening. Just for a little bit of more dynamics with we can play the ball over the top. He's going to be on the end of it, whereas York hasn't quite got that pace. So that's what I would do. But yeah, look, I think Calafiori's back in the team. Let me know in the chat, guys. Would you start Nketiah, or would you go with Calafiori for that attacking flair? I think Nketiah's been brilliant, by the way. I think he starts tomorrow. But there might be temptation to pay Cala just because of that attacking flair that he offers. The only problem is he's sort of made of glass, Calafiori. He hasn't stayed fit. He has not stayed fit. So look, it's a tough game tomorrow. Thinking about it, we've got a great record against Fulham, but for some reason, my biggest worry as well is this Champions League game. Has it taken? Because let's be honest, Rice and Zubimendi have played a lot of football this season. Are they going to have the legs? Are they going to have the legs to get through another 90 minutes? Let me go again on the Tuesday. It's absolutely nuts. So look, we got to rotate the squad. I know Marino's out injured, but is this a game for? Can Norgard sit in there with Rice? Just a bit of fresh legs. He's got experience in the Premier League. I don't know why Arteta doesn't trust him. It's interesting. I think he's going to go with the same tomorrow. I think the only change he'll probably make tomorrow, or 2 changes, should I say, I think Odegaard, if he's not fit, doesn't start. I think Eze starts, and I think Saka starts tomorrow in tomorrow's game. But yeah, it's big game. Hey, boy, FC, mate, how you doing? Yeah, how you doing, buddy? Good evening to you, mate. Yeah, get the likes up. Yeah, good man. Get your likes up. There's 5 of you in there watching, mate. I want to see 5 likes. Come on, guys. Get the likes up. It helps the channel. Cool. Let's get into the starting 11, guys. Cool. Oh, I'll sort my camera out in a minute. Let's try that again. There we go. We're up and running. Look, guys, that's what this is. Wayne's predicted 11 as always. He couldn't join the show tonight. He does send his love. What's your thoughts on this, guys? I think Ray's a no-brainer. So I think the talking point is going to be Count Docker's, but Norgard needs a few games. A Zubio Rice injury can't be risked by making them all play game. Yeah, they've played a lot of minutes, Count Docker. They've played a lot of minutes. And so I think what my worry is, I think Rice is the glue at the moment for our team. And Gabriel and Saliba, I think that spine of our team, if that gets affected, I think that we're I'm not going to swear, we're screwed pretty much, right? We're screwed because of what they offer us. And I feel like because Arteta's got so much trust in them, he's not willing to adapt or change. But my question remains is, why buy Norgard if you're not going to use the guy? If you're not going to use him? Yeah, Boren's, but if Rice plays 6 again, it's got to be MLS that comes in. Very, very good point. MLS would do a job in there. And I think with Rice sitting and sweeping, that gives the ability for Skelly to go forward. I also think that if Odegaard's fit, play Odegaard in that role. Put Rice in the 6, put Odegaard in that role, put Eze in. You'll find we'll dominate the midfield and we'll play free-flowing football with them guys in there. It's too rigged. I think Zubimendi is a good player and he was good. He's been good for us this season. But let's face it, he's absolutely shattered. He's knackered. And I think I'm surprised he has not got injured. He's been burnt into the ground. And Arteta needs to. Why are you not using? I'd love to ask him that question. I'm looking at a press conference, right? And not one reporter's gone to him. You bought Norgard in the summer as a backup midfielder. Zubimendi looks like he's in the red zone. Why are you not using Norgard? Why are you not playing the guy? What's he done? Same with Skelly. He's come in as a sub and played in midfield for the first time. Didn't see enough of him to warrant an opinion on him playing in midfield, but I would like to see it. And don't get me wrong, I don't think we can afford to experiment, but also we can't afford to get players injured right now. We can't afford Rice or Zubimendi picking up an injury or a knock, just going to knock him out for the rest of the season. We need to rotate. You had an opportunity to bring players in this summer, and I think we brought in some good signings, but we've also got backup there. Norgard can do a job. The only thing I can think of why Arteta won't use Norgard is because I don't think he's got legs in the Premier League. We'll get him to sit them. Get him to sit, and then Rice can do that advanced role. But yeah, sorry guys, the comments are flying in. Loving this. Get the likes up as well. Freddie, good evening, buddy. He's put, I would start Mosquera and Calafiori against Fulham, White and Capia against Atletico for the rotation and freshness. Very good point. Very good point. Ben White, do you know what? I feel like he's just lost it. I think his head's gone. I must admit, I had a lot of it. He did make me laugh. I don't know if you guys have seen it online. He walked over the Atletico crest as he was leaving the pitch, right? And he made out he had no idea. That, by the way, in Spain, you don't walk over the badge. That's probably the most disrespectful thing you can do in a Spanish club. And he literally was walking off and just walked over the badge. And yeah, Simone weren't happy with him. And yeah, it was a little bit of a tunnel bust up. But yeah, he does bring that. He does bring that to our team, that little cheekiness and stuff, which is good. We don't the dark arts, all that stuff. We need that. We've had a soft underbelly sort of the last 10 years. So I do love Ben White, but he has been awful for us this season. He's not. Can any of you guys name a game where he's played really well? I struggle. I do struggle. Boring's put, play MLS at 8, can turn and run. Then I agree. Like Odegaard in the 8-2, deep line in playmaking vibe. Yeah, I think it worked well with Atletico, mate. I really do. Kandoku, Trossard to start, maybe. Martinelli is better as a sub. Yeah, do you know what? I think Trossard to start on the left, Kandoku. And I would honestly throw Martinelli up front. I really would. And then if you're going to play Jesus, put Jesus on the left and let them interchange. Because I think that what we lack in a game where we're up against it, we need to get a goal. We can lump the ball over the top. York doesn't really feed off of them. But Martinelli's got bags of pace, so you can lump the ball over the top. Look at Eze against City at home earlier in the season. One pass over the top of Martinelli's finished it. It come out of nothing, come from nothing as well. So I think that is an option for us. I don't think for some reason Arteta don't want to plan through the middle, but I genuinely think that he's a striker now. He's not a winger. He can't take a man on anymore. So use his ability, use his pace, use his pace. Bowen's put Jonas won't ask him those questions. It's wrong. It's weird. Yeah. Joe, what I think it is. I think they're very, very careful what questions they ask because they can very, very easily get kicked out of a conference or not invited to the next one. So it's very. I wouldn't be surprised if their questions get pre-checked before they ask him because he's not going to put him on the spot. But I think that's a really good question. I generally think someone should say to him, Norgard's been on your bench all season. He's played. I think it was he played. He's probably played about 70 minutes overall in the Premier League this season. Why are we not using the guy? I mean, was he, from what I see of him at Brentford, whenever he played us, he was mustard. Like he was controlling the midfield. He was their go-to guy. He's got experience in the Premier League. Zubimendi doesn't. Zubimendi's on his first debut season. Zubimendi's absolutely knackered. So if I see the starting 11 tomorrow and I see Norgard in there with Rice, I'm not complaining about that because I then know that Norgard's just gonna sit and be disciplined, right? And Rice is just gonna drive us forward with Eze. I don't think I'm gonna see it though. I don't think I'm gonna see it. Cam Dockers put, I would suggest Norgard to learn Spanish. Arteta is kind on Spanish speaking player. Yeah, look, it's a bit like Arsene Wenger, like the French guy, didn't he? If you didn't speak French, you didn't want to know who you were. So yeah. But we've had some good French players, though, to be fair. But Hound of Arsenal tweeted that Livermore believes he's joining Arsenal, White to leave Everton. Yeah, I think White will go in the summer, buddy. I think he will. Livramento, very, very good player. Injury prone. That's the only thing. That is the only thing. But very good player. I would take him at Arsenal. Maybe if he's not playing first team football, maybe if he's playing behind Timber, maybe the injuries won't be as bad. I think he was Newcastle's number one right back, wasn't he? So it's an option. It is an option. It's the cost as well. One thing that I will say, guys, after watching Alvarez in the week, I don't want him at Arsenal. I was talking to someone in work about this, and they was quite shocked when I said that. I think he's too lightweight. And my argument is, I was talking to a City fan as well. If he didn't hack it in the Premier League for City, right, and he weren't even first striker, and he didn't really pull up trees when he got the opportunity, what's going to be the difference if he comes to Arsenal? That's the question I'm posing to all you guys. He hasn't really. Yeah, he's a good finisher. Don't get me wrong, great penalty, and he has some good chances. But you got to think in the Spanish league, they get more time, more space. You know, in other areas in Europe, Premier League's a completely different kettle of fish. So I've heard that we were linked with Osman, and I know Wayne sort of said he's got a bad attitude and all that stuff. But if Arteta's willing to work with someone like him, get him in. He's an absolute animal, mate. He's a goal scoring machine, and I think that something like the Premier League he'd do well in the Premier League because he's got power, he's got pace. The only problem is our system at this moment in time, and I was thinking about it the other day, our system at this moment in time is designed for a false nine, not an actual number 9. So Arteta needs to do some tweaking, I think, in the summer. I really do, because I think as well as Yock's done really well this season in terms of his work rate, but how many times are we going to go, oh, he worked really hard in that game? We need him to score goals. But at the same time, the team's got to be set up. The whole game, he's isolated. The one thing I did notice with the flat 4-3-3, was that he wasn't as isolated because he had interchanging midfielders that were supporting him and the wingers were supporting him. The one thing that we don't do enough with Yock up front, but we do it when Havertz on the field, is we don't cross the ball on the floor. That's his bread and butter. Cross it on the floor. Then if he doesn't attack it, then you question what he's doing at his club and we don't give him the right opportunities. I've seen Odegaard many a times that stupid lob pass to him. That's not his game. And it's you know what's really worrying? It's the 1st of May, and we still haven't fully worked out how to play with Gyökeres in our team. maybe next season, maybe another pre-season with York there might help get another striker and might give him a bigger boost because then he's got someone challenging him for that number 9 spot. But I really think that we need to start playing to his strengths, and that's one of the strengths we could do. Play out along the floor, make him attack it. Not in the air. That's not his game. He's not his game. He didn't score many headers at Sporting. If you see his goals. Sorry, there's a few comments in there. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I'll catch these up. Waffling there. Doing a Wayne special. Tedward, good evening, buddy. I like the lineup. If Saka out of nowhere can find some form, it may be the difference between trophies and nothing. Very, very good point. Very good point, mate. Yes. If we can get the Saka of old, then we win this league because he'll come up with something special in these next 4 games. What we need from him, we need him to cut in on that left foot and bang one in the top corner. That will change his season because he's not. I was having a debate with someone as well about, England today. I think that if Elise chooses his alliances to England over France, Saka does not start in this team. The only reason Saka starts for England at the moment is because we haven't got a better right winger. Maybe Joe Bowen is pretty closest in terms of form that could challenge him. Madueke hasn't done a lot. Maybe in the England squad he might do better, but yeah, Saka's got to find something though, mate. He's got to find something somewhere. He's really annoying because he's like that far away from being a world-class player, and he always just gets close and he drops. We need him to really step it up. Sorry, guys. We've rewarded him with a contract, right? And I feel like since he's got that contract, he's really dipped. But we need him now. We need him to perform because Martinelli and Trossard have just dropped off a cliff. Jesus, I mean, he might as well be cleaning the players' boots the way he's been playing. Yeah, we need someone just to grab it by the ball by the horns. The next 4 games, Champions League game, we need him to. If he scores in every one of them games, you forgive him for having a poor season because he's got us over the line. But we need him more than ever. Candock has put White scored a great goal in that cup game once this season. Yeah, well, that's about it though, buddy, isn't it? Joe, what? When him and Saka used to play on the right side, they were absolutely quality. When he used to overlap, they were so deadly. Maybe Timber's come in and disrupted that, and Ben White's just sort of switched off and in the background, probably looking for his move. But yeah, I can see him going in the summer. I can definitely see him going in the summer. Henry, good evening, buddy. Every time we have the chance to go clear, we don't take it. I don't think we'll win. We're going to Fulham, win up in the draw. Okay. Joe, what? As I said earlier in the pod, I do get your point. I think we've only ever taken these opportunities once, where we've had an opportunity to go fully clear. Look, Bournemouth were fouled. We could have gone 12 clear. The only time we went clear was Everton. We had the opportunity to go ahead of them before City played, and we scored a last-minute goal with Dalman. And then obviously City dropped points, and I generally thought that was the day we've got one foot or one hand on that trophy, and then obviously shit happened. Sorry, guys. Boy, I say injury prone. He'll fit right in. Yeah, he will, mate. You taking Osman then? To be fair, City wanted him to stay, but he wanted to get in over Haaland. Yeah, he weren't getting above Haaland. I don't know. If you're giving me a choice of Alvarez or Osman, I think I'm taking Osman. I think just because he's a raw talent, the guy, and he's got the Obafemi Martins vibes. He's just quick. He's powerful. He's a good finisher. And he's deadly. The only problem with him, he's a bit of a dick. I think that's the only problem. He's just not he don't play well with others, from what I read. But then, what you can't believe everything you read. And if Arteta chooses to get him, I'm pretty sure it's a fresh start for the guy. But I mean, I've not heard any rumblings out of Galatasaray where he's playing. Seems to be happy there. But I mean, he's too. No disrespect to Galatasaray, he's too good for Galatasaray. I think Chelsea were in for him. I think his wages are ridiculous. But I generally think that he would be him and York as options in our squad next season would be crazy, because York gives you a different dynamic. Or even you could play them both in the same team. If you got go over 2 up front, that'd be nuts as well. But yeah, it's just a different option. I think Alvarez for me is a big risk, and I'm reading quotes of 120 million euros. No, if you're gonna spend that sort of money, go and get an Osman or someone else. I don't think he's worth that. I really don't. And he hasn't shown me enough. Did he really cause us that many problems? I don't think he did. He was very lightweight. He was getting. I reckon he would get absolutely destroyed in the Premier League. I think he'd struggle big time. The way the Premier League's going is very rough and tough. It's going back to. We're getting the blame for it, by the way, but it's not. The Premier League's changing. I don't think you can have a number 9. You can. I think it's moving to the state where I think wait for a big manager to go back to 4-4-2, then everyone else will follow suit. This whole 4-2-3-1, a lone striker, that only worked when you had a false 9 because the false 9 would drop in and then you'd interchange. We're not doing that. That's why Jock is isolated a lot of the time. And I think with Eza playing that 10, he hasn't really been feeding him, has he? Let's be honest. No one's been feeding Jock. Jock's been running around like a nutcase the last 10 games, feeding off scraps. You need to give him something. Give him something. Candok has put, Jesus has the hunger, not the results. Sad to see him like this season. Do you know what? When we signed Jesus, he was brilliant. I'll never forget the first game of the way to Crystal Palace of the season, and we just signed him. We had Zinchenko as well, and we dominated the ball. Like I don't think he scored that day, but he was world class. He was holding the ball up. We need that guy back, but I think he's had so many injuries. I think he's just destroyed him, and I think that's half the problem with a lot of our players. I think Saka, he had a really bad hamstring tear, and he's not quite recovered. You can tell when he's got the ball on the wing, and he's going to go for a sprint, and you could see him just sort of holding back a little bit. Now, I'm not a professional footballer. I played at amateur level, and I tore my hamstring, right? And you do have it in your mind that when you go to do a full sprint, you don't fully sprint because you have that worry in the back of your mind that is it going to go again? Because your hamstring is quite a weak muscle. Not a medical expert either. Just, but I think with him, I think he's just got to build up that strength again. But what he is really good at is dropping that shoulder and going inside and having a shot of his left. We haven't seen that a lot this season. We really haven't. Borens, but Osman is the closest thing to Henry that is on the market. Yeah. I would take Thuram as well from Inter Milan. That's the striker there. He's tall. He's quite powerful. Bit of a risk because he's an Italian footballer, and he's only really played in the Italian league. I think any player you buy from Europe now is going to be a massive, massive risk because the Premier League is proven to be a really strong league. You know, unless you're like, if you look at PSG and Bayern, they're playing. I mean, don't get me wrong, Elise I would do wonders in the Premier League. We've done Crystal Palace. Harry Kane. I know he's an ex-Spurs player, but I think he's the missing piece to our puzzle. Harry Kane. I think he's the missing piece to. I think hate to say this, probably one of the best strikers in the world at this moment in time, in terms of goal scoring and what he does. So hopefully he can take that to the World Cup. But yeah, no. Anyway, back to the Fulham game. Sorry, guys, I proper digress there. So look at the old press conference as well. So one of the first questions, these media, honestly, on if everyone is okay after the semi-final. I think so. Let's see how everybody is tomorrow morning. Obviously, we haven't been able to train much, so tomorrow we will have the final update. Yeah, that's my worry. We haven't. What I don't want, and I've heard this as well, is they do quite intense training, close to games, and so yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Well, not behind the scenes, but from what I'm reading, they do quite intense training. So I hope that isn't the case. And I think tomorrow that's my biggest worry, that the leg's going to take over, and are we gonna struggle? But yeah. Sorry, guys, I'll get this off the screen now. Here we go. On the overturned penalty against Atletico, why are they going to keep dragging on about that? They know we're pissed off about it. We know we've got the ump about that. I don't know. I haven't spoken to them in the last 3 hours, so I don't know. We will deal with that on Monday. Now it's Fulham. That's a stupid question. That is honestly on using Wednesday as fuel for for the running. So now with that question, they're coaxing him to come out with something stupid like bring your dinner, bring your breakfast. They're coaxing that out of him, right? And his response is not too bad. I think we have enough fuel in the tank. We're playing to win the Premier League, and it's exactly where we want to be. 4 games to go. It's game 2. I'm ready to go. It is quite corny, isn't it? He's answered some questions, Arteta. It's very theatre-like, isn't it? But Rice could see himself banned over the overturned penalty. Yeah, I read about that. Apparently, because he come out and said that the referee was poor. Well, that's like just thing is, if he does get banned for that, that's a joke because he hasn't said what everyone else is thinking or, you know, what I don't get about that. And all the rival supporters are jumping all over it, going Arsenal, moaning, cringe FC, all that shit. Just like F off the lot of you. Anyway, apparently, you know, it wasn't clear and obvious. That's what I think. That is actually a massive question because VAR should only get involved if it's not clear and obvious. But it wasn't clear and obvious. That's why if I'm rewording that properly, you know. But the on-field decision was pen. I knew as soon as he went to that screen. I knew he was going to overturn it. The one thing that does wind me up is he had Simone screaming in his face whilst he was looking at the screen. Now, if you've got a referee with a pair of balls, turns around to him and gives him a yellow card and tells him to F off, go back to your seat, mate. But yeah, no, the referee bottled that big time. He bottled it. That was more of a penalty than York got, if I'm being honest with you. That was more of a penalty because he got to the ball first. Anywhere on the pitch, that's a foul. So it would have been interesting to see if the shoe was on the other foot. If Atletico had that issue, it'd be interesting to see what decision would have been given. I think we all know what would have happened. But look, we move on. We take the 1-1 and we go and do our job at the Emirates. Boren's put Rice has history too. Got banned before, but they carried it on to the following season. This was when he was at West Ham. Yeah, Frankfurt. I mean, I see the video. He's going down the tunnel, but I think he was shouting at the ref, going, "It's an effing disgrace. I bet they effing paid you." So I don't think he said anything along them lines. But you're asking to get banned if you say stuff like that. But fair play to him. And look, frustrations do take over. You know, there's a lot riding on these things. You know, we're 1 game away from or 2 games away from the final. So, and that could be a massive decision. That could be, we could touch wood, we could lose at the Emirates 1-0, and then that decision becomes massive. Cool. On if there's a siege mentality in the squad, honestly, these reporters, seriously, I'll tell us, but we certainly have that, and we need to face any context, any situation to achieve our goal. What happened the other night was extremely disappointing, and we need to make it happen at home now. Where do they get these questions from? Seriously, honestly. Anyway, look, I'm not going to be on too long this evening. I won't bore you with all my waffle. That's Wayne's job. He's probably watching, going, you dickhead. But yeah, look, let me know in the comments, guys. I think Rice should drop deeper for this game. I don't think he's going to make any changes, but I definitely think we should go like for like if we can with the Champions League game with the 4-3-3, the flat 3, no number 10, and just sort of give York more support. So I'm interested to see how he'll line things up tomorrow. I think we're missing Timber big time. I think he will go with Ben White again, just purely because Mosquera doesn't offer the attacking threat. Excuse me, guys. That Ben White would offer, but I think him and Saka in the same team going forward is pretty good. So I think he'll probably go with Ben White. The Martinelli needs to pick it up as well. He's not been that great, is he? He's not been that great. Brian's put gotta be Rice at 6. Gonna shoot, mate. 2-0 win tomorrow. Yeah, good. Thanks for joining, buddy. Thanks for joining. Yeah, 2-0. Yeah, score predictions, guys. Let's get into it. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Boring now. I think 2-0 for me. 2-0. Jas Pende, good evening, buddy. What if Rice gets banned for one game? He only has himself to blame. Let's just hope that that does not happen. Yeah, well, it's a bit soft, isn't it? If he gets banned for 4-0, bloody hell. Ambitious, mate. Does Ezra score any of them goals? Yeah, if he gets banned for that, that is soft from UEFA. They've any excuse for it. We're already getting stick. We're getting stick because everyone's sort of saying, "Oh, that PSG Bayern should have been the final. You guys shouldn't be anywhere near it," which I think is a bit harsh. There's a brace. Nice. Well, yeah. Look, I think we need to shoot from outside the box. I think for me, probably I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0. I think that we need to start very quickly. Very quickly. I just hope that we're not jaded, and that's why I think he needs to mix up a little bit in terms of I would throw Norgard in there just and let Rice do his thing. Although if you're going to play Rice in the 6th, put Skelly in there. If it isn't working, change it at half time. But I do think that them driving onesies, we haven't seen a lot of it this season. We haven't seen a lot of him. But I think give him an opportunity. If it doesn't work, then change it at half time. Bring Zubi on at half time. These should give them a little bit of respite before the Champions League game. Yeah, we ain't got no backup. Well, we've got Jesus as a backup centre forward, and he hasn't really been pulling up trees. So it's a little bit worrying at the moment. Our squad, there's not many options that we do have. Does Dowman get a look in tomorrow? I think Madueke probably being dropped to the bench. You're probably going to say no. Maybe can come in number 10. There is options, but we're a little bit limited. So, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not around tomorrow for the watch long. I'm actually at the game. Wayne is not around either, but we will jump on Sunday to do a full reaction, a breakdown, and yeah, just look back on the game. Hopefully, we're talking about a huge win, and we're looking ahead to the Champions League game. So come and join us for that, guys. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. It does help the channel. And yeah, thank you for all your comments this evening. I'll see you on the next one. Come on, you Gunners. 6 points clear. Let's do it. Take care.